If you notice in some of my work, I don't put features in many of the people's faces. So I want the viewer to look at my work and finish it. Either put themselves into it or remember a scene that they've seen and finish that for them.
Hi, I'm Tony Ortega, the Denver area artist. I want to talk to you briefly about my current series of contemporary retopos. San Samuel, Santa Frida y San Diego, and San Ratón.
The biggest influence in my life and my art and how I've been informed in what I create is from my grandmother, Tony Ortega. My mother was a single mother. She never married my father. In fact, she would have married my father. I would be a Rodriguez rather than an Ortega. My mom initially came up from New Mexico because I was born in Santa Fe. My family's from Pecos. When I was just a couple weeks old, and my mom tried to make it here in Denver. This was the late 50s, 1958. And it was challenging for my mom just finding a babysitter and care for me. And throughout those early years, my grandmother was a seamstress. My mom also used to do some crochet and embroidering. So I've always been around creative people. I was maybe 3 or 4 years old, and I can remember sewing and making things and thinking that was enjoyable. Plus I liked being with my grandmother. Family was very important. We would travel back and forth between Denver and New Mexico. So I spent my summers in New Mexico. I learned about farming, ranching, helped take care of animals, helped my tío Gavino with the acequia. And then I'd come back to Denver and go to school, which was North Denver. Talking about the early 60s, mid 60s. I guess the Chicano movement was beginning to start around then. So that was always in the background. I remember hearing about the Cesar Chavez and Corky Gonzalez and the Crusade for Justice. By that time, we moved to East Denver, and I went to East High School. But when I went to college, the University of Colorado, I got involved with UMAS, the United Mexican American Students, and I started taking Chicano Studies classes, and I started reconnecting again to sort of my New Mexican roots. So all of that stuff has informed me as an artist, it informed me as a human being, and obviously informs my work. So I think of my work as hybrid work, kind of a mixture of American culture and Mexican culture. So I try to find those symbols, those icons, those images that are American, and then superimpose or juxtapose in my printmaking and my paintings, and talk about what it means to be Mexican American, to be Chicano, to be aware of being bilingual, bicultural. A couple summers ago, I had a wonderful opportunity to work here at the Arvada Center. They put together a show about murals and mural making, and I proposed to him about doing a summer camp, because the exhibit was during the summer. So talked with the education people, and we did a summer camp, and I worked with some middle school kids. And one thing I did request was that the mural, once we finished, there would be a home for it. And so I initially proposed that it would be at a local school, but I was lucky enough that the Arvada Center decided to keep it. I was able to work on the mural with my son, who was an assistant who worked with the education department. Cipriano Ortega worked here for many years. So, you know, it's about family, it's about community, and it's about making art.